Give us the big finale, Raichu!
Hey everyone, what's going on? My name is Sauce, and welcome to more Pokemon Draft League content. Now, just as a quick disclaimer, for those of you who are returning back, you may have noticed a slight change. I am having a little bit of a rebranding away from the Sauce Empire, which is still going to be around on my Twitch at least, more so as like a umbrella. But this channel, I'm going to try and convert to Saucymons, which is going to be exclusively Pokemon related content, which I'm excited about because now I can focus directly on Pokemon content and potentially down the road have maybe another channel to explore different interests. That way we don't pollute any other content with Pokemon content. We can house everything all under the same channel, which I am super stoked about because today we have a draft review video, and it's not for the APDL, which Ark's Pokemon Draft League, a draft league my friends and I play in, which is run by my good friend Noah, aka Ark. And Ark and I, we both are in the Try Hard Tavern Discord server, where this Pokemon League has been running for 12 seasons now. So that alone is super fun, but all the games are done on Showdown, whereas I've been invited to a brand new Wi-Fi draft league in Scarlet and Violet, which I am super excited about. I've gotten a capture card and we're going to be going through those games this season, and I am unbelievably excited to do so. And we have 10 coaches in total from the APDL participating in this league. And so without further ado, I will introduce the picks that I had for the Tavern Premier League, which is what the TPL is called, also run by good buddy Ark. And of course, it's got to be sponsored by the Try Hard Tavern, right? That's why it's in the name. So very excited to be a part of this journey. So channel news out of the way, we can get back focused on what you came here for, which is a little bit of a thought analysis, a bit of a breakdown on how the draft process went for the Kalamazoo Raichu, which, we're never going to rebrand away from our tried and true name, as we got a bit of prestige, having won 4 championships in the APDL. I would love nothing more than to solidify the Kalamazoo Raichu dynasty in stone with a first season debut win. That would be pretty cool. Now, my initial thoughts for the team I drafted is pretty good. I think this honestly is one of the scariest teams I've ever drafted. Maybe it's just because the pool is a little more expansive, but yeah, I've got some scary stuff, and I'm so excited to show you all but one Pokemon I've never used in draft setting before, which is really cool. I love switching it up. And, those of you who were in the picking process, coaches in the league, you'll probably know which Pokemon is a repeat offender, if you will. I just couldn't pass them up, but we'll get to that in the draft. So without further ado, I would like to go over my first pick. Let's get to it. Our first overall draft pick for the Kalamazoo Raichu in the Tavern Premier League is Gouging Fire. I wanted a huge big hitter as my first round pick, and being the second last pick in the draft order, I was pleasantly surprised that this newly added powerhouse was still available. It has a high base stat total with emphasis in HP, attack, and defense, alongside a fantastic typing both offensively and defensively. Gouging Fire just seemed like a great first pick. It has access to a whole plethora of strong attacks that work well with its great typing, such as Raging Fury, Outrage, and has access to nice coverage moves in Earthquake and Psychic Fangs. And this can work in tandem with Dragon Dance, which it has access to. Or I can run Gouging Fire as a bulky defender, as it has access to both Morning Sun and a signature move in Burning Bulwark, which will burn any Pokemon that makes contact with it. Yeah, it's like a busted Baneful Bunker, and I'm stoked to use it. Gouging Fire being our first pick is great. We have 97 points remaining, as it did cost 18 of our 115 total points we had. But we now have an interesting way we can go about this. We can either go for a Fire Water Grass Core, or maybe a Dragon Steel Fairy Core, as it has both typings to build off of. So what did we do? Let's find out who our second pick was. So we didn't really do anything smart, now did we? We're having fun with the draft. Yeah, that's right. Alolan Golem is our number 2 overall pick. Now, this thing is so sweet. The gimmick potential for unique strategies each week is so cool with this Pokemon. It has 3 amazing abilities in Magnet Pull, Sturdy, and Galvanize, and has access to sweet moves such as Stealth Rock, Volt Switch, or a Galvanized Explosion. It packs a huge punch with its monstrous 120 attack and can utilize its defenses at 130 base defense to use body press and things like that. Now, being only 2 points, I'm able to make this one of my 3 Terra Captains, which I've opted to give it Terrestrialization in electric typing, water, or bug, so I can use it offensively with Galvanize to do some massive damage, or I can use defensively with water or bug types to also give it some nice coverage with Terra Blast. So I am so stoked to use Golem-Alola this season. So we are 2 picks in, and we've only spent 20 points, which is pretty sweet. Now, back to actual strategizing. We got to think about where we want to bring the team. So, to synergize, I thought it'd be nice to really start getting into some of these defensive cores with our next pick. Our 3rd overall pick for the Kalamazoo Raichu is none other than Bronzong. With an excellent Steel Psychic defensive typing and access to great abilities in Levitate, Heat Proof, and Heavy Metal, this is the Mon that is such a good option that I'm excited to use. I had the option to Terra Captain it, but I saved those points for some fun spicy Mons near the end of the draft, so I figured that its typing was solid enough. The main reason I picked up Bronzong was that it's a very slow Pokemon to complement Golem, and it also has a nice ground immunity to work around. There's a multitude of fun sets I'm immediately thinking of when it comes to Bronzong, and so I thought maybe we could just ease into picking more of the premium picks and just casually select a nice 6-point Mon that maybe people would think about later in the drafts, but just to snipe it now so we could really see what direction we wanted to take our team. With access to Stealth Rocks, screens, and a vast move pool with good coverage, I'm super happy to welcome Bronzong to the team. All right, so we're 3 picks in and we have 91 points remaining. So as you can see, we sort of got the Dragon type and the Steel type covered, but we're missing a Fairy if we want to go for that traditional Fairy Steel Dragon core. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why did you have to do this? Well, here's the reason. Both Clefable and Enamorus were taken at this point of the draft, and I really did go through the whole list of available fairy types. You know, maybe thought about Florges, maybe thought about... I'm gonna be honest, I couldn't help myself. Yep, he is back. Whimsicott is on the team once again for our number 4 overall pick. He's only 6 points. The disrespect to Whimsicott is crazy. Prankster alone is enough to draft this Mon, but it also gains access to Infiltrator and Chlorophyll, which are super useful abilities. We got Prankster Leech Seed, Tailwind, Encore, and Substitute, Cotton Guard. We've got offensive and utility moves like Knock Off, U-Turn, and Moonblast. I am more than happy to see this familiar face back on the roster. Now, this is the only Pokemon in my whole draft which I've used before, so having the added comfort, I think, will really help when it comes down to really close games in this league. Super stoked to have Whimsicott back on the squad. So we have 4 picks down and still have 85 points remaining, so I think I've been doing a decent job with my points management this time around for the draft. So now that we have our Steel Fairy Dragon core, I thought it would be nice to round out the Fire Water Grass core with our 5th pick. For our 5th round pick of the draft, I opted to select Tentacruel. With a great special defense stat at only 12 points, I thought that Tentacruel was a boss pickup. It has impressive speed too and a vast move pool of viable options. I think this is such a solid pick as it has access to toxic spikes, can rapid spin, flip turn, knock off, and has a wide array of coverage moves. Also, being a grounded poison type is great so that it can absorb toxic spikes, and it helps out Whimsicott's poison and bug weaknesses along with Golem's fighting weakness. So we've got 73 points remaining, and already with only 5 picks, we've managed to craft a Fire, Water, Grass, as well as a Dragon Steel Fairy Core, which is pretty cool. Now, I thought that with my draft so far, I was lacking a little bit of punch in the special attacking area. So for our 6th pick, that's what I looked to solve. For pick number 6, we picked up Darkrai for 19 points. And to be honest, I'm so surprised that it was still in the pool. I've never used Darkrai in my life. Like, not even casually, not even like sending out a Pokemon and playing the games. Like, I've never had this Pokemon on my team at all. Like, I'm that fresh-faced to what this Pokemon can do. After reading up its signature ability in Bad Dreams, which takes away 1/8 of a sleeping Pokemon's HP, I thought this was so cool as it boasts a base 90 stats in attack, defense, and special defense with an astounding 135 special attack and 125 speed. This Pokemon will be hitting hard and fast. It has access to Hypnosis and Nasty Plot, along with Hex and a super strong Stab Dark Pulse. I have really cool strategies in mind revolving Darkrai, and I can't wait to try them out. So we are 6 picks down, and we need to draft at least 10 Pokemon, 10 to 12. So we've got 52 points remaining, and so far the team's looking pretty cool. But I wanted to have a little bit more hazard removal, as you know, coaches in this league love to do some cheeky hazards. So I figured while it's still in the pool, we have to pick up this next Pokemon. For pick number 7, I'm so lucky in being able to grab Great Tusk. I can't believe this thing was still in the pool. It has a unique ground fighting type along with photosynthesis, so my team's sort of starting to fill a little bit of a sun core, which is cool. It has access to great moves such as Headlong Rush, it has Rapid Spin, and Ice Spinner for extended coverage, and also to remove terrain such as electric terrain or grassy terrain. You know, I'm looking at you, Measly and Lanky Paul. I can't believe that Great Tusk was still in the pool, and it's just such a solid addition. So we're 7 picks down, and we have 34 points remaining. And, you know, to be honest, I feel like I've done a very good job with points management to this point in the draft. And looking at everything that we've gotten so far, am super excited with all the picks. But I still felt we were lacking a little bit of niche picks in terms of typing, as well as I just wanted a little bit more specially offensive Pokemon. So with this next pick, I can't wait to show you this. Let's check out who we drafted for our 8th pick. To round out our number 8 pick overall, we've got Hisuian Zoroark. For 13 points, I thought this was such a cool Pokemon to try for the first time. It's got 3 type immunities thanks to its super cool normal ghost typing in fighting immunity, normal immunity, and ghost immunity. And with its ability illusion, I can't wait to pull some fast ones on people. It has an impressive 110 speed stat along with an incredible 125 special attack. And it also has 100 base attack too, so we can run it as a potentially mixed attack set. Now, I just want to mention it has Stab Hex, which will be complementing Darkrai so hard with his sleep victims or anyone's status by burn or poison. Access to knockoff, U-turn, shadow sneak, and it has great utility moves such as taunt and memento. And it has its signature move, Bitter Malice, which is a 75 base power stab ghost move that 100% lowers an opponent's attack. I feel like for 13 points, Hisuian Zoroark complements my team very nicely. So we've made 8 picks so far, and I'm loving our draft, and we have 21 points remaining. So the pool of available Pokemon is starting to shrink, and I really wanted to make sure that I snagged some cool mons that maybe other people were looking at, and I just chose with this next Pokemon a pretty surprising one, but I think it has some cool qualities. So let's show you our 9th pick. At only being 4 points, I thought Glaceon was an underrated pick. It has an amazing coverage set with Ice Beam, Freeze Dry, has alluring voice, and access to Weather Ball. Being one of my Terra captains, it can use Terra Blast Water or Ground to complete its coverage, and it can abuse that monstrous 130 special attack stat while also mitigating its poor defensive typing if it Terastallizes. Now, it doesn't really have the best abilities, but it has access to some nice utility moves in Wish, Haze, Roar, Yawn, or it can potentially set up with some Calm Minds and stored power. I am super happy to have Glaceon on the team for only 4 points, and I can't wait to see what it can do. So we've made 9 picks so far, and we have 17 points remaining. Now, we only need to draft 1 more Pokemon, but we can draft up to 3 more to make 12. Looking at my team, we've got a bit of synergy here, and there was one particular piece that I was still missing. As I still wanted a bit of speed and some special defense, I thought that this Pokemon slotted in way too well. Let's check out what I picked for our number 10 selection. After looking through everyone's team in the draft, I knew it was safe to hold up on picking Ninetales until late into the final rounds. For 10 points, we now have a dedicated Sunsetter or Flashfire user. It can complement our Photosynthesis Mons or Chlorophyll Whimsicott and our countless Weather Ball users on the team. Additionally, it has great support moves with Hypnosis to synergize with Darkrai, and has access to Pain Split and Nasty Plot to keep things spicy with a variety of sets that I could potentially run. With 10 picks made, we have the option to pick up to 2 more Pokemon with our remaining 7 points. Now, I figured it was probably just best to use all 7 points to draft the best Pokemon that I could. And so for our final pick of the TPL Season 1 draft, the Kalamazoo Raichu select Scyther! Scyther! Scyther is so cool. Being a non-fully evolved Pokemon, it can use Eviolite to buff up its already respectable base 80 defenses, and alongside being my 3rd and final Terra captain, I thought that flying would be great for Stab Technician boosted dual wing beats. We give it ground to give it an electric immunity and to hit those steel, fire, rock, and poison types with Terra Blast. And finally, Terra Normal to abuse Facade, Technician boosted quick attack, or Feint. It has Stab U-turn, access to close combat, and also has the moves Tailwind and Defog. With 110 base attack and 105 speed, I am super excited to use Scyther this season as the final pick of our draft team for the Kalamazoo Raichu. So there you have it. These are the 11 Pokemon that I've drafted for the TPL Season 1. I am ecstatic, and I think the team that I've drafted is so cool. I can't wait to try out all the memes, all the strategies, and all the fun sets that I have whipped up inside my head. It's going to be a sweet season. Now, if you haven't already, please go check out the other coaches in the league. A lot of them have started making content for the first time, and we're getting on that content hype train. It's going to be so cool seeing everyone participating in it, and yeah, if you haven't already, please go check them out. I'm going to try and link all of their channels in the description below. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you taking the time to check out the content, check out the team I've drafted, and just hang around. So if you liked what you saw, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment on your favorite Pokemon that I drafted. Or if you want to leave a comment and give me some ideas for some fun sets that you think I should maybe try and pull off with any of these Pokemon that I've drafted. So I think that's pretty much it for this video. I just want to say again, thanks for watching, and look forward to more content for Pokemon Draft League coming out. Our first game is against the noisy Noivern, coached by Josuke's butt. And, you know, that's going to be a very fun game as he's got himself a little bit of a rain core team to contend with us. So we might have a bit of a weather war happening right off the bat, which is super cool. And yeah, in terms of APDL, probably won't be posting any regular season content. Probably not postseason for season 12, but when season 13 rolls around, baby, we might get that spark back. So thank you again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks, guys. Peace.